So seriously good news this morning. We were supposed to actually get the rain starting last night, and you can see that I have cleared out my campsite and it has yet to begin raining. I did put my poncho on, of course, because it's expected anytime. So just looking for another 13 today. Gonna take it easy. So, man, that is just such a relief. I cannot even tell you. Not to wake up at 4 o'clock this morning to the sound of rain. Okay, temperatures definitely dropped, but it's very reasonable. So, okay, we're gonna head out this morning and catch up with you later.
A couple updates here. Trail's super nice this morning. It's been uphill. You can see, I think, it's going to be quite a bit of uphill. And not to discuss the responsibilities of the day, but I was just saying to myself, man, I shouldn't have got out of camp without hitting the facilities. And look at this. Talk about the trail providing. I don't even know where this is. I don't even know. This isn't a shelter. So I don't know why there's a privy out here in the middle of nowhere. There is something that looks like it's a, bench and everything. I don't know what this is, but I'll tell you what. Good Lord shining down on me. So here we go. And it's funny, I was gonna stop just a little earlier, but I didn't stop because another southbound hiker, actually a flip-flopper, AI, attitude indicator. So this is sort of, I don't know if this used to be a shelter and was torn down and it's now a campsite or what, but attitude indicator came along, so I stopped and I just continued on, and boom, look at that. So I'm a lucky man. All right, we'll catch up with you later. So here's AT Thru-Hiking 101. You are surrounded on all sides by higher elevation. And you are going downhill. What do you think is in your future? That's right. A steep uphill. All the ground that you take back, you will have to give back, usually to the power of 3. So this is why I don't look at the maps. And I try not to look at gut hooks too much. For water sources, every once in a while I will. And it's a general reference point for shelters. I will, simply because they have the water source in the privy. But I just find it's better not to know. I can read the tea leaves as well as anything else. And when I'm going downhill and I'm surrounded by uphills, I know what's coming. It ain't gonna change if I know exactly what's coming. So I find it's just better to just suck it up, keep walking. And at some point, you'll reach your milestone or mile goal, and you'll stop. And the next day, you're going to get up and do it all over again. But I can't really complain. The trail has been very nice today. So you saw that trail magic, that with the privy and the picnic table out in the middle of nowhere. Well, Crocker came along and he gave me the skinny. He said that a apparently the shelter there had burned down. And so it's left that, and folks just, of course, use it as a campsite. But that's what happened. That's why it looked like a shelter area, but there was no shelter because apparently somehow it got burned down. So that is, according to Crocker anyway, the history of that little spot. But I must admit, it was the perfect timing, the perfect location for me. So, well, I left the campsite at 8:10, and at 8:30 I started to feel sprinkles. Whoa, 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 whoa. That shit is not funny. That could have changed my whole day right there. You see how dense the leaf and debris cover is. The path here is very narrow. This is actually really loose side. And I must have just taken a little step off to the side. And of course, threw all that weight onto, and a jerking weight onto my bad knee. Oh, see, now that knee is acting up. Damn it. Anyway, at 8:30, got some sprinkles. And now, but then it stopped. It's now 10 o'clock. And we haven't had any more sprinkles. It was looking like it was clearing up, getting lighter gray, but now I see it's getting a darker gray again. So maybe the rain will be coming. Anyway, it shall come and it shall pass. And if we can be lucky enough not to have the too cold of air dip down this far south, that will be a blessing. Pretty little scenery there. Certainly a change from up in the woods. And it sure will be for you in the Green Tunnel. Not a bad day for hiking at all. I mean, the temperature's actually up. I don't know what it is, but I would say it's certainly in the 60s. And yeah, I'm definitely sort of sweltering in this poncho, but trying my best to keep cool by letting the air flow through. I don't know how many miles I've made. Maybe when I get back up, I'll pull up gut hooks and just take a look. I would say I'm probably around 7 miles. I'll bet if we were to look, I'd be very close to that. So 7 of potentially 13, which means I'm more than half way through before lunch. It's not bad. The only issue I have with the shelter is that I'm not going to elevation when we're calling for colder weather. So if the shelter is a climb up to the shelter and I'm at elevation, then I will, I won't stop short, because 13, I think, should pretty much be a minimum. But I will go just beyond that to drop down in elevation, even if I have to carry like 4 liters of water to make sure that I've got that covered. Wow. I don't know what this is or what it's used for, but is this state land, or public land of some sort. I don't know, is it part of a battlefield or something? I don't know. Okay. Well, I'll get down here, find out where I am, maybe find a little sheltered spot, have a little lunch, pull up gut hooks, take a look, maybe able to give you a little bit more information about the shelter that I'm going to and whether I will in fact stop there, or I'm not going to continue on big miles. The next shelter is 22 miles. Just had a conversation with RTK. He shot me a note and said, hey, with the weather, stay tonight at the Quarterway Inn if you can. So my cell coverage isn't great here, so we haven't been able to have a substantive conversation. But the short of it is it sounds like he stayed at the Quarterway Inn last night, and with some other folks is slack packing 20 miles from the, I think it's called Old River Valley Road, like Virginia 614 or something, that the Quarterway is on. When he sent me that text, I was literally stepping onto that road, and I could have just turned left, walked down the road just a few, half a quarter mile, half a mile, whatever, and been at the Quarterway Inn. The problem is that's 8.4 miles into my day, and it's only noon. So that's too short. If I'm going to be doing shorter days, I need to be at least fulfilling my days. They are slack packing Sobo to that road, and that means they'll be 20 miles ahead of me, because obviously if I had stopped there. Okay, so what I'm thinking is that I'm going to continue northbound here at SR 42, so Virginia State Road 42. I'll be 10.4 miles into my day. That's only a couple miles, obviously, from here. But I'll still be very close to the Quarterway hostel. And then I'll sort of look at it. Okay, so that's some of the planning. The second piece of that, of course, is I hope it isn't lost on you that the Quarterway hostel is named after the fact that we have completed a quarter of the trail. So that's friggin' huge. So we're he said he was at 570 something, so I must be at 550 something if he's 20 miles ahead. So that is a quarter of the way. I mean, talking about like a morale booster. All of the nonsense, all of the garbage, all the weather, all the crap that I put up with, I only have to do that 3 more times. It's freaking genius. It's awesome. So that is a big milestone. I was coming down the hill from the pastures, and this is the dirt road. Look how beautiful that stream is. I had to show you that. Now, it said on the sign back there when we crossed that road that we have to be careful because we are on a very narrow easement of private property for like the next 22 miles. So out of respect for them, we need to stay in this little easement. So of course I will. Obviously one of the farms. Let me get over this crossing and then get back to you. Okay, the rain came. About 1,300 hours. Yeah. So I'm sort of like a drowned rat. At least all the parts of me that don't matter are drowned. I mean, my body is soaked just from the perspiration of hiking from 8:10 this morning till 1:10 with no rain, but high humidity. But my pack's dry. And that, you know, I care about it. So, just a mile or so out from the shelter, that'd be 13 miles. I'm gonna stop there and assess. Should actually stay in the shelter. And not soak everything. Big decision. Not what I want to do. But might be the smartest thing to do, given the fact of the cold weather coming in. Not to have all soaked gear. So anyway, just wanted to bring you up and change the status. Really getting soaked now. Just made the big ascent. Now I'll have a downhill into the shelter. But as I hit the peak of the mountain, had some thunder. Somebody told me that we had thunder snow up on in the Smokies. To tell you the truth, I can't remember it. So this is the first thunder that I remember having, the first of this hike. So we may have a real thunderstorm here. Everything's just grayed out. The rain is cool, but it's not uncomfortably cold. I mean, I'm in short sleeves. No gloves. Yeah, when I got up this morning, the first time in this hike. Actually, I don't think that's true. I think on the 24th of February, it was warm enough I didn't wear any gloves or mittens. But since that day, every single day, I'm wearing gloves or mittens for the very beginning of the hike. Today was the first day, and even now, no gloves. So, these are huge milestones. May not seem like much to you guys, but they are huge. Hear all that? Yeah, get a little intensity to this bad boy. Okay. Let you know when I hit the shelter.